Welcome to a new camera comparison, this time the Xiaomi 15 Pro against the iPhone 16 Pro. So let's get started. On this bit of a cloudy day here in Germany, Wesel, we are checking out those two bad boys here, and despite the fact the Xiaomi 15 Pro looks like a 4-camera setup, it only has a triple camera setup, the same as the iPhone 16 Pro. So the 15 Pro from Xiaomi has a main sensor 50 megapixel, has a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle and a 50 megapixel 5x periscope zoom, and yes, you can applaud for this. And there the iPhone has a 48 megapixel main camera sensor, 48 megapixel ultra wide angle, and I think it also has a 48 megapixel, no, it's I think 12 megapixel still tele 5x zoom lens. And then we have front facing shooters as well. My daughter is also with me here, just applauding a bit late there as well. 50 megapixels on Xiaomi, and I think it's 12 megapixels here on the iPhone. Otherwise, yeah, I blended in what it is actually. So I think we start off with front-facing video. So 4K, 30 frames per second, recording on the front-facing camera of the Xiaomi 15 Pro. And as you hear, Xiaomi was listening. I'm using the external mic, and it's working fine now without much of processing going on there, which is quite nice. What do you think about the stabilization? What do you think about the colors? It's a gloomy, grayish kind of day, so not much of HDR that you can test out here. Nevertheless, what do you think about the front-facing video here on the Xiaomi 15 Pro? So now front-facing video on the iPhone, 4K 30 frames per second. It has the advantage of featuring autofocus. So if I'm holding the Xiaomi 15 Pro here, the camera lenses at least, it is able to focus on it. So this is quite nice. Also, what do you think about the HDR, if there's any? Usually the iPhone is doing very good with 30 frames per second in 4K HDR. Has a bit of a yellowish kind of face, at least on screen there. And of course the screen doesn't have any stabilization. But on the Xiaomi 15 Pro I could see it. So what do you think about the front-facing video here on the iPhone 16 Pro? 4K 30 frames per second now on the main camera sensor of the Xiaomi 15 Pro. What do you think about the colors here? What do you think about stabilization? And of course at 4K 30 but also 4K 60 I'm able to switch between all lenses. So let's go and switch to the ultra wide angle just with a tap of a button. So we have now a button to use here. Ultra wide angle is 14 millimeters, the same as on the iPhone 16 Pro. So we should get roughly the same kind of viewing field there. And what we want to do right now is also check out the periscope zoom. We have a 5x periscope zoom. So let's just stop here at a marking basically, and let's go and try to zoom in on this Willy Brody cathedral. 5x zoom there. Let's go maybe to the top, and I can of course go also to 10 times if I want to. Maybe is there a bell? Let's go in further. We can go up to 15 times zoom. Pretty stable on screen. What do you think about the detail level here? And in general about the Xiaomi 15 Pro. So now I'm recording with the iPhone 16 Pro, 4K 30 frames per second. And you can also do 4K 60 frames per second if you want to. There's even 4K 120 frames per second available. But I'm working with the 30 timeline, so this is why we only have the 30 frames per second. We can switch to the ultra wide angle just by pressing a button as well. 40 millimeter as well, so ultra wide angle here on the iPhone 16 Pro. Someone is like talking there through a little plaything for the kids. And yeah, what do you think about stabilization? What do you think about colors here? Same situation, same pathway basically, and we are walking also towards the same spot where we can test out the zoom. And what do you think about the ultra wide angle here on the iPhone 16 Pro? So same spot for zooming in. So let's go and zoom in. We have 5x optical zoom there as well. Let's go also to the same spot there. Screen it's like a little bit less sharp, a little bit less stabilized, but we can also go to 10 times, which we reached now. What do you think about this one here? Let's go see if there's a bell, and let's go to 15 times zoom, but we reached now. So which one is performing better here in terms of zoom capability and cameras in general? Let's check out the front-facing video. What we can see on the front-facing video is that the iPhone is way too warm in my opinion. So it has not only warmed up my face but also the background significantly, where the Xiaomi keeps a bit more contrast and keeps it a bit more dull like the day actually was. What I really don't like on the iPhone is the stabilization. The Xiaomi keeps my face nice and sharp. It doesn't have autofocus. This is one of the negative points, but it keeps my face nice and sharp and the background a little bit unsharp. Where the iPhone gets a bit smeary all the time. I think it has something to do with stabilization and the autofocus trying to keep up with my face. And this leads to a video performance in this grayish kind of day that I really don't like on the iPhone in comparison to the Xiaomi. So I think, and I'm surprised to say that, but the Xiaomi does a better job in the front-facing video department here. When it comes to main video footage, you can see already the issue that the Xiaomi has. I think the Xiaomi gets the colors almost right, but has way too much contrast on this footage that makes everything appear a little bit sharper, but it has also some issues with stabilization, so every footstep is way more or less like visible there. The iPhone has the problem of the colors being way too yellow, but it has my face nice and sharp and doesn't have the stabilization issues. So with the main camera sensor, I think the video looks a bit better on the iPhone there, even though it's just way too yellow there, but it's just way too contrasty on the Xiaomi 15 Pro. I think the yellow one you can fix. The contrasty kind of look on the Xiaomi you cannot fix in post so much. When it comes to the ultra wide angle, however, this becomes very interesting because I think here, where is it? Let's go back. This is the main, and then it comes to the ultra wide angle. It redeems itself. It gets a bit warmer, the Xiaomi 15 Pro, but the contrasty look gets a little bit less there, and this helps for it to gain some traction here. But still, you can see the iPhone is a bit wider. It appears to be a bit wider there. But this way too yellowish look is like disturbing, and I think I prefer for the ultra wide angle the Xiaomi a bit better there. Be completely honest there with you. And also for the colors that you can see there of this shop, for example, it is, I think, a bit better on the Xiaomi 15 Pro. When it comes to zoom, however, it's very interesting. I think the iPhone still has, like, in terms of fluidity, like when you're switching from the levels here, looks a bit better. The stabilization, I think, is a bit better also on the iPhone, where it's a bit more smoothed out. On the Xiaomi, it's a bit like wobbly still. And I think up to 10 times they're roughly the same there, but you can see already at 10 times, I think the more contrast that we have leads to a bit sharper picture there on the Xiaomi. And when we zoom in to, what is it, 15 times, there is no contest there. It's grainy on the iPhone, and the Xiaomi keeps it, even though it's a bit stuttery because of the stabilization, not so good, more detail levels on the Xiaomi for sure. So iPhone wins in terms of main camera video footage. Ultra wide angle, let's say on par, maybe with a slight advantage to the iPhone, but for the zoom, it's definitely the Xiaomi that wins here in terms of videography. What do you think? Let's start off with the photos. On the left over is the Xiaomi 15 Pro, on the right over is the iPhone 16 Pro. We start off with the selfie cam. What we see on first glance, that the Xiaomi is struggling a little bit with this haze, also covering my face, where the iPhone struggles a little bit with white balance. And I think on second glance you can see also HDR when you look at the white outside of the window, where here's a bit of blue still there. It wasn't really blue, was more grayish kind of day, but nevertheless I think the HDR is working towards the Xiaomi, where the front here and the contrast is working towards the iPhone. And when we take a look at the detail levels, you can see that I think even 32 megapixels, even if I zoom out a little bit here on the Xiaomi, you can see that it has a bit more detail, especially in my eyes there, than the iPhone. So yes, I think I give this favor a little bit to the Xiaomi, but you can correct me if I'm wrong and you think that the iPhone is doing a better selfie in this regard. It's a very harsh condition because the window there in the background. Where I definitely give points to Xiaomi is the 5x zoom here against the iPhone. First glance already the colors, because this is not how the plant looks like, because it is way darker kind of green that we have there. And the same goes for the what is it? Actually, I don't even, water can, I think, in the background there to water the plant as well. This is much more realistic than this here. This too light kind of green. When I zoom in, we can see that the iPhone is already struggling in this indoor situation with the noise. The Xiaomi, by the way, like Authentic here, doesn't have this issue at all. Looks clean. And also when you look at the detail levels here of this little plant, you can see it is night and day difference. The Xiaomi is winning in terms of telezoom indoors against the iPhone for sure. Then for close focusing distance with the main camera sensor, this is what the iPhone is apparently not doing very well, even with the new 16 Pro, and it is switching there when I get to the same distance with the iPhone 16 Pro as the Xiaomi 15 Pro. The switching to the ultra wide angle, this is why you get like, yeah, it is in focus there. It's not the best kind of sensor there. This is the Xiaomi 15 Pro that has this nice focus fall off there. You can see like the straw is already out of focus, where here it's in focus there because it's using and utilizing its main camera sensor. When I want to do the iPhone, I have to go a step back there. This is now the iPhone, and then you can see also the straw is like getting out of focus. I see nice bokeh balls there that maybe are indicated here. It's just like I had to change the angle slightly, and there was a different video running on. But yeah, here the out of focus area, let's check it out, which one does it better there. It's quite interesting because we have f1.8 on the iPhone and we have f1.4 on the Xiaomi, and roughly the same kind of sensor size. I think it's 1/1.3 on the Xiaomi and it's 1/1.28 on the iPhone, so it's basically the same sensor size there. But the different sensor, OmniVision on the Xiaomi, and I think it's a Sony one on the iPhone. And another white balance indoors shot of this light there, and which one performs better here? It is definitely the Xiaomi. First of all, because it got the white balance right, it's like yellow, and here it is more like white. What the iPhone does better is like the sharpness all over the round here, you can see. Why is that the case? So because the iPhone with enough light can produce 24 megapixel shots, so there's a bit more detail there. The Xiaomi doesn't have this trick, so it's losing there in terms of detail against the iPhone. And just in a second later, when we check out autos, you can see it as well. 5x, I gave it the win to the Xiaomi, and here's also another 5x shot in this indoor situation. It's getting like winter time here, so indoor situation makes more sense to test out, I think, and autos is like grayish anyway. But I will have autos shot as well. Look at the detail level here indoors. 5x is just like, it's like a generation ahead on the Xiaomi. And iPhone has no chance in this regard. Macro photography, however, the iPhone can utilize the ultra wide angle, only the ultra wide angle, where the Xiaomi 15 Pro, if you choose super macro mode, which I did here, it is utilizing the 5x zoom. I think the ultra wide angle can also perform macro shots. Let me just quickly check on this if it's true, but I didn't really check it out, to be completely honest. Yes, it can also perform macro shots as autofocus, so would be maybe a nice interesting test. Anyway, you can see like this little dip there here as well. Both are good in terms of macro shots. I would give them equal points there. Let's come to the portrait shots, and sorry to say so, but it was not a right day to go out and do portrait shots. So I did this all indoors with a bit of artificial lighting. But in terms of lighting, I like the Xiaomi better. The color is more accurate. Then this is not the color of the shirt the iPhone was doing there. And also the face is just like a bit too dark and too dull. When you zoom in, you can clearly see at this 2x portrait shot, the detail level on the iPhone is just catastrophic in comparison to the Xiaomi. Yes, the Xiaomi is doing artificial stuff there, but it is way better there with this portrait shot than the iPhone. 5x, basically the same kind of thing. Yes, it's a bit of warmish and yellowish and maybe a bit too contrasty there. The iPhone has a little less contrast and not this kind of, usually iPhone has warmer shots, but more reddish kind of shot. But it's like a pixel mesh where the Xiaomi is heavy editing, heavy processed and so on, but still more details on the Xiaomi there. And I would prefer any day the Xiaomi for 5x portraits. 35mm portraits here, actually 36 on the iPhone. Instead of 1.5 or I should have gone to 1.4 because it has 24mm. Anyway, what we can clearly see is here more reddish kind of face again, the wrong color for my shirt because the color is this one here. And in general, like a little bit too much contrast still on the Xiaomi, where I think the contrast level is a bit better on the iPhone. Why is the iPhone now larger? Because of, first of all, 24 megapixels. So yes, it can also perform in portrait mode 24 megapixels in portrait, which is quite nice. But also because it is 36 millimeters. So this is why it's like this. In favor to the iPhone, I just zoom out like one stop, maybe two. And you can see that the iPhone has a bit more detail. And the cutout is also better. Look at this and look at this. So these headphones that I had on, just sole purpose was of course to test out this portrait mode. You can see that the iPhone is doing a better job there. Has this line that is like from the headphone, the Cosporter Pro Wireless, by the way. If you want to watch this video, you can check it out. You can see on the other side it does a bit better of a job. And the rest like is done also okay-ish, I would say. But yes, the iPhone has more details there in this kind of shot there. Just the colors got wrong there. 5x shot, again, just to show you detail levels also in general here. When there's a bit of more light is way better on the Xiaomi. And now we go outdoors to check out the main camera sensor, and here the iPhone has the advantage again of this 25 megapixel or 24 megapixel shot, high-res shot. But the colors are a little bit wrong here, because it's like a little bit too warmish kind of looking. Here it's maybe a bit too bluish and greenish and a bit too much contrast added on the Xiaomi, so that is for sure. But when you look in here, compare it with here, yes, if I zoom out a little bit with the iPhone, because again, 24 megapixels, you can see the iPhone has a bit more detail, especially when we go like for the side here, and the text there has a bit more detail levels. So yes, the main sensor there with its 24 megapixel can perform a little bit better in terms of detail level. But in terms of colors, I think what kind of Xiaomi, by the way, now in Leica Vibrant, because I think it makes more sense outdoors to compare that in Leica Vibrant. Leica Authentic would be a bit darker and duller. But I would say also that the Xiaomi captures the mood of the day better, because it was a very gloomy and bluish and winter almost kind of day, even though the temperatures are a bit higher, like 10 degrees now instead of just 5 also. But the iPhone makes everything a bit too warm looking, and yeah, it could be like, if you didn't see the people, you think, oh, it could be like 15 degrees or something like this, which is clearly not the case. And yeah, Xiaomi captures the mood of the day a bit better. And the same goes for this shot here, which is again with the ultra wide angle way too warm on the iPhone. So I don't like the colors on the iPhone, they were too warm. Gladly, of course, you can change it within the iPhone with the different looks that you have, then make it like look a bit cooler. So this is not, I think, a big deal. But when it comes to detail levels and so on, especially the ultra wide angle, what's going on here? Looks like almost painted on the ultra wide angle on the iPhone, where the Xiaomi has a, yeah, it's a photo on the Xiaomi where it's like a painting on the iPhone. And this is just the ultra wide angle. You can see it also towards the sides, their detail levels, noise, it doesn't look good on the iPhone, let's say it like this. So the ultra wide angle on the iPhone, despite the fact that they upgraded it with a more megapixel sensor there, I don't think they know how to handle this correctly yet. So yes, the iPhone sensor there, the ultra wide angle, is weaker than the Xiaomi's for sure. Zoom outdoors now, same as we had with the indoors shots. Yes, a bit more contrasty look on the iPhone. It's a bit maybe slight haze on the Xiaomi 15 there. But when we take a look at the detail levels here, look at this. You can see the slight haze there. But the detail level, and here in the shadow, for example, much better on the Xiaomi 15 Pro than on the iPhone. And the more we zoom in, the more it gets clear that the iPhone is just not keeping up with the Xiaomi 15's telezoom lens. This is 10 times now. Yes, a bit more this haziness going on. But again, the detail level is just simply mind-blowingly good on the Xiaomi in comparison to the iPhone. And when we zoom in 25 times, which is the max on the iPhone, look at this bell and compare it with this bell. So much detail there on the Xiaomi. Yes, the Xiaomi is using AI for everything here to process it. It looks a bit processed, but yes, still the iPhone cannot beat the Xiaomi in telezoom shots. Now the selfies outdoors, again a bit of hazy shot there on the Xiaomi. I think it has also, this is not a portrait mode, but still has a bit of more background blur than the iPhone there. You can see the iPhone is a bit closer up because it's 23 millimeters, where the Xiaomi is 21 millimeters. Both ISO 50 and roughly the same. Yeah, it's a bit of more shutter speed there on the iPhone. Nevertheless, normal shot there. I think that the iPhone is doing quite a good job. If I zoom out the Xiaomi a little bit because of the higher megapixels that we have there, you can see that I think in terms of detail levels they're on par. Maybe the iPhone a little bit better there, but you can see like how the iPhone renders around my eyes. It looks like it's totally ugly, where the Xiaomi is making my face a little bit more yellowish instead of like this warmish reddish. And yeah, what do you think about this one? Which one would you prefer for this kind of shot? I think the contrast level, I think I like on the iPhone a bit better, despite the fact that my face and the shadows there are a bit too dull. So I would like take myself from the Xiaomi 15 and the background of the iPhone 16. Yeah, portrait mode now on both, and basically the same kind of thing that you can see here. So we have, however, a bit too much contrast again on the iPhone here, where it is a bit better on the Xiaomi, but it's a bit hazy there going on. And detail levels again, let's zoom out a little bit there. I think I would prefer the Xiaomi 15 Pro for this portrait kind of shot, because it's like just looking too darkish here around my eyes on the iPhone. Even though it's like beautifying myself, I know I would prefer the iPhone still, the Xiaomi still. Not the iPhone so much, but you can write down in the comment section what you think. But I gave it the benefit of the doubt to the Xiaomi, also because it got the color right of the jacket that I had on, where here it's just like too punchy and too warmish on the iPhone. Close-up shots or macro shots, super macro mode on the Xiaomi, utilizing the 5x and the ultra wide angle on the iPhone 16 Pro to get things sharp, on par. Like we had before, I think they're on par. There's not much of a difference between those two. However, I noticed on the iPhone, if you have the wrong angle, it might change the white balance to a bit of bluish more angle. So I had to like angle it up a little bit there. So this is something you have to keep in mind, because you're getting so close with the ultra wide angle. And here you can step a bit back. You have to step actually a bit back with the Xiaomi 15 Pro to get this shot. But in terms of detail level and so on, I think they're on par. Then here, ultra wide angle shot again. This is like a nightmare for the iPhone. The iPhone has just simply a bad ultra wide angle. What can you say? The colors are all wrong, and it looks a bit painted there. And this is the actual color, Xiaomi 15 Pro. Actually, if you want to go to like authentic, it gets even darker there, and then you can see like this more warmish kind of tone goes like a bit more bluish there, and the sharpness goes a bit down there. And this is actually a bit too dark and too dull. This is why I chose like a vibrant for this day. And then 5x again, just to show you, even in daylight conditions, with the best conditions I could get, the detail levels on the Xiaomi are just simply at 5x way better than on the iPhone. So the iPhone has no chance of winning here against the Xiaomi when it comes to the 5x tele zoom lens. And this is, I think, the last picture. Yes, this is the last picture there. So what do you think? I think tele is definitely a win for the Xiaomi. Selfie, very hard to tell. Maybe equally bad or good. Maybe a slight win for the iPhone there. Main camera sensor, I think they're equally good. Maybe it's slightly better on the Xiaomi there in certain situations, but the iPhone has this 25 megapixel, and then it beats the Xiaomi in terms of detail levels, even though I like the colors on the Xiaomi a bit better. And you can change the colors on the iPhone. So main sensor, probably a win for the iPhone. And when it comes to the ultra wide angle, definitely the Xiaomi wins against the iPhone there for sure. So I think it's time to check out the nighttime shots and then come to a conclusion. So, nighttime comparison, Xiaomi 15 Pro against the iPhone 16 Pro, and we have the St. Martin's Parade here in Wesel, Germany, and yeah, we'll switch just shortly, you hear it probably already, to the back-facing cameras, and then film a little bit of this as well. So the night photos, we start off with the main camera sensor. Taking at night, I couldn't see much. There was a bit of mist going on there because it suddenly got very, very cold, and both offer a very similar result, with the iPhone taking a little bit of longer exposure. I think it was 3 seconds, where the Xiaomi 15 Pro had only 2 seconds to get this photo done. And when we take a look at the details here, 23 versus 24 millimeter, okay, granted, f1.4 against f1.8, so the Xiaomi has a bit of an advantage there with a larger aperture. The shutter speed that they put in the EXIF data is 1/6 and 1/5 of a second, and the file size is much larger, like double the size basically on the Xiaomi in comparison to the iPhone. iPhone has ISO 2500, where we have ISO 10,000 on the Xiaomi 15 Pro. Like I said, first glance it looks very, very similar. Second glance is like maybe a little bit of a yellowish kind of tint. When we go in here, you can see the iPhone is a bit noisy there, and if you compare it with the Xiaomi 15 Pro, you can see there's a huge difference. This looks like a tree, yes, and this looks like, the processing had some hard time doing stuff there. And also the same goes with the roof here, where you can see clearly the noise going on already. And look at the tiles there under the window, much more visible on the Xiaomi 15 Pro. It's a bit brighter there, and it tries to get more detail out of here. This roof, for example, where here it's smoothing this out. And also this wall here is smoothing out, where here it looks to be, either it's noise or it is a bit dirty. I'm not so sure, but here you can clearly see it. Here's a bit of noise and a bit of like uneven things going on there, where here it's like completely smoothened out and noise removed on the Xiaomi 15 Pro. So the iPhone keeps a bit more noise in, but has less details as well. Look at this one here, look at the tiles there, and it is just less clearer there on the iPhone 16 Pro, and the same goes here. Look at how much noise there is, and the Xiaomi 15 Pro is handling this way nicer. Then when we come to the 5x zoom in complete darkness, however, it's a flip around, because the iPhone is doing it much, much better. It has tons of noise, yes, but look at the detail level. It's like amazing what it can pull off in comparison to the Xiaomi 15 Pro, which is like a total garbage mess here. So yes, this is definitely a win for the iPhone 16 Pro in total darkness there. Total darkness photos, selfies with the selfie cam. The Xiaomi 15 Pro is illuminating the screen all the time, taking the shot. The iPhone 16 Pro is acting like as a flash. So it's like you press the shutter, you wait like half a second, it flashes for half a second, and then the flash disappears and the shot is taken. I have to say, I think that the iPhone is doing much worse here, because the face looks a bit too red and it's not illuminated very well. And when I go into detail levels, it's a bit of noisy. You have selfie cam, what do you expect? On first glance, the Xiaomi looks much better. When you zoom in, however, you can see so much better it is not. So yes, they have a bit of more resolution, but it has also a bit of editing there with the included night mode as well. It's editing some stuff. Can take a look at the detail level. It's 32 megapixels here. It is just like 12 megapixels. So there is a bit of a difference there in terms of detail level. I'll be honest, I prefer the the Xiaomi 15 Pro against the iPhone 16 Pro. Ultra wide angle, quite interesting. I think Apple has a brighter picture here. Both have 14 millimeter ultra wide angle, f2.2. They're not using the same sensor. You can see Apple has 12,250, where the Xiaomi has 3,200 in terms of ISO, and the shutter speed is a bit higher on the iPhone. What you can see for sure is, however, the iPhone has overblown highlights, especially here with this shopping window, for example, and tons of noises, where here it's a bit smoothened out on the Xiaomi 15 Pro, and I think the HDR is doing a little bit better there in reducing the overall, you can see it's like a haystack and, what is it? A haystack and, not pineapple, how they call those things here for Halloween. You know what I mean. I cannot come to the English term of it. German it's called Kürbis. Anyway, Then let's take a look at this mess here in the middle, where yes, it's smoothed out here on the Xiaomi 15 Pro, but it's looking much cleaner, much more readable. Look at this Commerzbank writing there. Look to the right there, we can clearly read the sign, for example, for this shop here. Clearly readable. I think also HDR. This is like completely yellow here on the iPhone. But here you have like a bit of whiter color, which is more realistic towards what I saw with my own eyes there. And the same goes for here. It's almost unreadable, but here you can read stuff still. So yes, the ultra wide angle in night is definitely a win for the Xiaomi 15 Pro. Main camera sensor now again at night. Another shot with some light here to see flaring. There is a bit of flaring going on. The Xiaomi is handling it a bit better, I would say, than the iPhone. When you look at the detail level, it appears to be a bit more detailed here on the tiles, but this has something to do with simply, I think, a bit more contrast added and a bit more yellowish glow. And HDR is suffering again. You can see the overblown highlights there on the lights, where here the Xiaomi can keep at least parts of this still visible. Look at the car, which looks a bit cartoony on the iPhone already. With lots of redrawing happening, where it's more realistic and clear on the Xiaomi. And also towards the sides, you can also clearly see it, this kind of redrawing going on there. It is not so prominent on the Xiaomi. And also when we go in here, the colors are a bit warmer on the iPhone. But yes, in night mode, I'm now 100% sure the Xiaomi is doing better with its main sensor. Now 5x versus 5x zoom, and I think still the iPhone is doing a bit of better job. You can see here, it is a bit of noise going on, but this looks a bit clearer. First of all, also the coating is a bit weird looking. You can see what's going on there with the Xiaomi. I didn't have any issues with the Xiaomi, even in this cold night, like 5 degrees, something like this, with fogging, if someone was asking about this, because the predecessor had these issues. But you can see that the Xiaomi already has heavy like processing going on, where it's like redrawing the text here, and also parts of those images or symbols, where this one is not doing this so much. So it looks a bit more realistic here. But when we take a look at the HDR, the iPhone is doing much worse. So this is one reason where I would say, you look at this here, this bush is readable. This is like a bakery here in Germany. It's completely not readable here. Also easy fit test, or how they call this fitness studio, is readable. Also the colors here much nicer than on the iPhone. So the iPhone's 5x might have more details, but HDR is failing. Therefore, can we give it, this looks bad on the Xiaomi, can we call it a draw here? This is my question to you. It's very hard. Let's go in and take another shot. This is now 10x shot. The iPhone looks much better with the colors, but when you go in here, you can see tons of noise going on. There's a bit of noise going on. Easy fitness there, you can see. I have to say it's too much noise for me on the iPhone. Also the color corrected itself, as you see here on the Kick logo. So leaning towards calling it a draw, especially now when you come to maximum zoom, where the iPhone fails completely at 25x. So the colors are gone, overblown, inconsistent. And the Xiaomi 15 Pro, yes, it's like, as we go in here, it is better with HDR. Better with sharpness. Is this readable here? Easy fitness as well, readable, this logo better. So yes, I would call it a draw here ultimately, because I think at 5x the iPhone 16 Pro is better. At 10x and more, the Xiaomi 15 Pro is better, also with processing. I think it's using AI to process this. What I'm a bit worried is that the iPhone has this inconsistency. So you can see here this overblown, completely colors wrong. And here at 10x, it is correct, and I was not tapped to focusing. I just like let it happen how it happens. So yes, call it a draw at the telezoom. So it's a win for the main on the Xiaomi, it's a win for the Ultra on the Xiaomi, and it's a draw for the telezoom lens on both, at least at night. What do you think? Let's come to the conclusion and ranking. TLDR, the iPhone 16 Pro gets 4.415 points, where the Xiaomi 15 Pro gets 4.475 points. So this means the iPhone is losing against the Xiaomi 15 Pro. We start off with the main camera photo quality. In daylight, I told you it's basically the same. The iPhone has the advantage of this higher megapixel count, like the higher megapixel mode that you can use, 24 megapixels, which gives you a bit more details, but it's way too warm in terms of colors. But as soon as there's low light or there's a little bit less light, the iPhone fails completely. I can show it to you again, and not doing this often, but I had to do it again just to get this here right. I'm not sure why this is not the same. There we go. And you can see, first of all, the iPhone is much more yellowish and the Xiaomi 15 has the right colors. Yes, you can correct this on the iPhone, but what you cannot correct are the detail levels, especially when it's getting a bit lower in terms of light there. Yes, the iPhone has a bit more of resolution, but the detail level, look at this here and compare it to this here, it's just simply on another level there. Even if I zoom out a little bit, you can clearly see that the iPhone is much more smeary, much more noisy, keeps much more noise in there. And together with this difference in terms of like white balance being wrong, most of the time too warm, I'm leaning towards and I'm giving the advantage to the Xiaomi 15 Pro, 0.1 points more. It's the same score that you see later that the Xiaomi 14 got as well, using the same sensor. And yeah, basically it's the same. Processing has improved a little bit, but it is basically the same. Ultra-wide camera photo quality, I'm a bit conservative here. It is better than the iPhone 16 Pro because it's iPhone 16 Pro is very, very bad in this case, but I'm giving it only 4.1 points because I think it's the same sensor again as on the Xiaomi 14, and maybe processing changed a little bit, but the 14 has only 4.1. This is why, and it's the first comparison, I'm giving it 4.1 points here. Zoom camera photo quality, however, is a lot better, and it's also better than the iPhone. So at least 0.1 point again better than the iPhone there. So we have 4.4 points. Video recording quality, the iPhone is better. You saw it also in the night recording that the iPhone had way less noise there. And this is one thing that Xiaomi has to deal with. And I think the main camera recording was better on the iPhone. Also stabilization was a bit better. Ultra wide redeemed itself on the Xiaomi a little bit, but I think the iPhone will have still a edge there. But where the iPhone lost is the further zooms in. I think 5x zoom is okay. Xiaomi shows that it has a better zoom lens there, but then if you zoom in further, so if you need longer zoom ranges for video, then get the Xiaomi 15 Pro. Otherwise for video, they're very close, and I guess Xiaomi can update the over contrasty issue that I had with the Xiaomi 15 Pro's main camera video. Definitely for sure. Maybe you can also choose different filters. You can also use a master mode video or a movie mode. So the movie mode only has full HD as a recording when you record 16:9. But the master mode and log recording allows you to get the colors right, but the iPhone also has a log recording, so iPhone is winning in terms of video recording quality, but it's not a huge difference. This is why we have like here 4.5 against 4.6. Autofocus performance is basically the same, not much of a difference. Front cam, I'm giving the edge to the iPhone 16 Pro, not for night photos, because there the Xiaomi 15 Pro was doing better. I'm giving the portrait photos and so on had like this shine or like this haze on the Xiaomi 15 Pro, low contrast and such thing. This is, I think, where the iPhone is doing a slightly better job. This is why I'm giving the iPhone, and it has autofocus on the front, giving a slight notch there in terms of photography. Where I think the iPhone lost is videography, because it was way too unstable there. So if you want to take selfie videos, few years ago, it would be insane, or called insane, if I would say get a Xiaomi. But yeah, Xiaomi has redeemed itself there for sure. If you want to use a good camera, the camera UI is excellent. It's basically the same that we had in the Ultra. There's slight changes here and there, but has all the Pro features, possibility to save profiles in the Pro feature. features, has lots of stuff there, pro video mode and such things. So 4.6 points I think is pretty good there, and extra features as well. Lots of extra features as well on the Xiaomi 15 Pro, like for example the possibility to control your microphone in pro mode in general, and all the tweaks and abilities there. They even have like now a sharpness possibility to change the sharpness for the files, for the photos, which is quite nice. Yeah, so 4.4 points there in terms of extra features, even though I think 1 or 2 features are missing from the Ultra still. So what does it leave us with in terms of the ranking list? As you can see here, the Xiaomi 15 Pro gets the same rank as the 14 Ultra, and this says a lot, because the 14 Ultra is an Ultra phone and the 15 Pro is a Pro phone. So even though the 14 Ultra has the larger sensor, usually what you'll get is basically same HDR, low light performance a bit better on the Ultra, and the Ultra has like this variable aperture, but still the performance is basically on par with the 15 Pro there. It gets a bit different, and this is something I'm calculating or should calculate in maybe with a future Xiaomi 14 Ultra versus Xiaomi 15 Pro update, because yeah, it is visible here already. 4.5 points for zoom. For zoom, I'm not only calculating in now the main telezoom lens or telezoom lenses on the 14 Ultra for that matter, but also like 2x zoom, which is a crop of the main camera sensor, to reflect that as well. And what we have here is a better zoom. First of all, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra has this 3x zoom as well, which allows you for better portrait kind of shots. Yes, the 5x portraits on the 15 Pro look also amazing. The 15 Pro has the same zoom 5x lens as the 14 Ultra, which shows. This is why it gets pretty close, but yeah, a dedicated 3x zoom also for macro photography and such things. The Xiaomi 14 Ultra is rocking there. Also, I think the 14 Ultra has a wider field of view and a better ultra wide angle for that matter. And I'm struggling still with the 1-inch type sensor on the 14 Ultra. If they improved it a lot, maybe I can give it 4.9 points, but then I think I have to raise it also for the other ones. But we have to see. I think for now, the Xiaomi 15 Pro as well as the Xiaomi 14's main camera sensor, the Lighthunter 900, are still 4.8 here. But you can, yeah, write in the comments what you think about this one, if I'm wrong here completely or not. The further stuff like video recording quality is basically the same as with the 14 Ultra, and autofocus performance the same. Front camera, however, is better on the 15 Pro, and this is something I have to retest on the 14 Ultra, because I think the updates made it a little bit better, but it failed completely in HDR situations, the 14 Ultra, and especially also video HDR. And either the 15 Pro with its new processor can handle this a bit better, or the 14 Ultra also got the updates. I have to recheck this at one point there as well to upgrade this, because they are using the same sensor for the front-facing camera, but the 15 Pro is performing much better there. Camera UI and extra features are the same there. Yes, the 14 Ultra has some minor extra features more there, but on the other hand, the 15 Pro has like the sharpness option, for example, for Pro mode. For your photos as well, slider there that can be calculated in as well. So yeah, 6th place together with the Oppo Find X8 Pro as well, 6 Pro as well. As you see here, the 6 Pro of course has better ultra wide angle, but the zoom camera photo quality is basically on par with the 15 Pro, and video recording quality as well. Autofocus performance as well. Front camera slightly worse than the Xiaomi 15 Pro, and the camera UI and extra features are a bit lower on the Oppo Find X6 Pro. But yeah, maybe I'll test them against each other as well, because the Find X6 Pro got, of course, ColorOS 14 and lots of updates there as well. And maybe also ColorOS 15 will come with a lot more updates. Yeah. As you see, the Vivo X100 Pro is still there, holding pretty strong with a better zoom camera photo quality, and yeah, video recording quality is pretty solid. Front camera not so much, but the camera UI is on par, I think, with the Xiaomi. Very, very advanced, and extra features are tons there, even better than Xiaomi. This is why we got 5th place there. What is very close by the way, the iPhone is on rank 9 here, so even surpassed by the Xperia 1 Mark 6. Why is the Xperia 1 Mark 6 so high there? Because of the tons of, first of all, better autofocus, but also tons of extra features that you get with the Xperia. 1 Mark 6, like even micro SD card recording, such things, which are pretty nice, but it's not top notch yet because we are still waiting for the Pro Video mode and Pro Video features there. But autofocus performance is quite cool there. Video recording quality is good. I think we can even raise it to 0.1 point thanks to the latest updates. And when the big update for the Pro Video mode comes, zoom camera photo quality is on par with the iPhone, which is quite interesting. Only in daylight though. In nighttime, both get very noisy very quickly. So this is one of the downsides. But the ultra wide angle is much better, and it's on par with the 15 Pro, even though it's like 16mm instead of 14. And yeah, the main camera sensor quality is 4.5 points. I think we can also raise it at 1 point, but this needs to be tested again. Yeah, and you can see like the Xiaomi 14 is one rank below the iPhone 16 there, has a better ultra wide angle, has zoom camera photo quality that is worse, has video recording quality that is a bit worse. It's really almost on par with the 15 Pro, aside from the front-facing video that was worse, especially in HDR, but also because external audio recording was not there. Autofocus performance is nice. Front cam 4.3 has some issues there with HDR, but in photo mode at least it had HDR, which the 14 Ultra didn't. And yeah, camera UI and camera extra features are a bit less there, like the new portrait options for the millimeter that you can select, the lenses there. Still not there on the Xiaomi 14. This might also upgrade with HyperOS 2.0, and then we will see. But you can see here the iPhone 16 Pro is not far away from the 15 Pro Max, which is 11th spot there. And yes, it's an improvement, and you can see here the ranks as well. You can take a look at the rank. I will put the link down below for the ranking list as well. If you have some further questions, comments, suggestions, write it down. Until the next time. Bye.